My name is Anoriell, and welcome to my channel. Here we do reactions, mostly on GL and BL content, and mostly from Asian countries. Today, I thought it was way overdue for a little chat. I normally did these channel updates once a month. I don't know who watched them. And we talked about life, we talked about channel statistics, and what I was thinking we might react to, what the polls were on my highest tier on Patreon, and stuff like that. And then I kind of burned out. Like, I don't know. Yeah. So I stopped doing them because I didn't know if anybody was actually watching them or interested. But I felt like it was needed to have a little chat now that I'm slowly getting back to filming again and slowly putting out content again and be like, where have I been? What happened? How am I doing? What's the plan? You know, all of it. So grab a coffee and or every other drink of your choice. If I could drink alcohol, that would probably alcohol in this, but I can't. So, it's coffee. Uh, so yeah, where have I been? Let's start with that. I work full time, like a few of you know. I work in privacy data law, and I started my job a little over a year ago. Before that, I was home for 2 years because I had a burnout and stuff going on with my mom dying, and it was a lot, and I needed a break from everything, and I didn't know what I wanted to do. What was my plan? What work did I want to do? Did I want to work for someone else? Did I want to be my own boss? But I needed to figure out my life, and I was in a very lucky situation where I could afford that, where there was no stress for me to really figure it out for 2 years. So, and then my dream job just came and fell in my lap, and I was like, yeah, I think I'm ready. And I think this might be my dream job, or one of them. I want to try this. So I did. And I started working full time. And that was a few months after I started this channel. I think I started this channel in the end of December, almost 1st of January of 2022. And I started working full time in April of 2022. So, it was a lot. I treated this as a full-time job, and I treated my job as a full-time job, and I have other things as well. I run a small, very, very small web shop. We only ship to Sweden. We sell official licensed stuff for Disney and Marvel and DC, and yeah. So, I had like 3 jobs, 2 that was almost full time. Even if YouTube didn't pay me, it was still kind of a job. And I felt like my family never saw me. So I needed a break. And that's what I took. My body also started to, tell me that, you're making yourself sick again. Stop. Chill. Because if you didn't know, I posted about it on the community post, but I have a rare, and what's the name? Non-lethal type of cancer. So it's mostly affecting how not tired I am, or how tired I am. So I was starting to make myself, it got worse and worse and worse because I started to slip with my food because I didn't have the strength to keep up with it. And it is easy to just put something in, the oven or whatever and just, I will eat this. That is already pre-cooked. But for me, that is really not an option. I need to have fresh food to not be sick. So I need to cook everything from, as fresh as I can get it, and for that day. Which means, I have to cook for an hour or 2 every day, and I need to hang out with my family, and I have work 40 hours on paper every week, but more like 45, 50 hours a week. Um, which leaves me with like maybe an hour or two during the evenings that I can do what I want to do. And when I felt sick, I just didn't have the energy to talk to you guys. Like, I still wanted to watch TV shows, but it's one thing to watch TV shows, and it's a whole other ballgame to watch TV shows and to make commentary all the time. Now, I'm a very talkative person. Like, I can, yeah, I don't shut up. So normally I talk a lot when I watch TV, but even if I talk a lot when I watch TV, it's a whole other thing when you try to filter yourself a little bit of how will this be perceived if I say these things? Can I say them? And if you're tired, you are bound to say something that is just up the walls. So yeah, I was gone. And then I started recording, and then life happened. Like, I had to work one weekend because there was an emergency thing. And then there was another thing with family one weekend that had been in the cards for a long time. And so I didn't have any filming time that weekend. And yeah. So there were a week and a half gap again between next. And that might be the case now, because I am not going to push it. I am not going to feel like every single night has to be me filming. I want to do other stuff. If you follow me on Patreon, you've seen a little bit. Like, I started coloring. I took some Patreon money and bought me some really awesome pencils. And I put in my own money in it as well. And bought some coloring books because I needed some mindfulness thing. And it was a thing a few years ago. And apparently I thought that was a great thing to do. Not that I ever heard that I have any artistic thing. Like, seriously, I went to drama school for like 10 plus years. We've been discussing this before. But my entire life, I've heard that I am non-creative. I don't have a creative body, like bone in my body. And I have like zero talent for stuff. Which, that could break you. And it did, kind of. It took the fun out of a lot of things for me for a while. But I am now at the age where I said, F it. That's your opinion. If I still feel it's fun, I'm going to do it anyway. So yeah, I started coloring. I put some pictures up on my Patreon, actually, but it's behind a paywall because I didn't have the guts to put them out on the internet. So you might not see them if you're not a Patreon, but apparently they were pretty good. People liked them. So yeah, sometimes I just want to do that. Sometimes I want to read a good book because I got in the habit of reading. I loved to read before when I was a teenager. Like, I loved reading. I could read a book a day or two. I still can if I want to. But when I started uni, I had to read like 2,000 pages almost every day. And it took the fun out of reading. So for a lot of years, I haven't read anything because all I read was like literature I needed for school or literature I needed for work. I never read like novels or anything like that after I started uni. But I started doing that again. Like, I started reading manga, I started reading danme, and I started reading like books I could find on anywhere. So yeah, I think over the last, what can it be? 3 months? I think I read something about 300 novels, short and longer novels. Yeah, I'm a bit crazy like that. And I read pretty fast, I know. Which is weird because I'm a dyslexic, but because I'm a dyslexic, I kind of learned really early on that if I wanted to keep up, I need to memorize words. So I have like the system how to decode a word in a text with my brain. And because my uni studies was so reading heavy, because law and political science and sociology is all about reading in books and reading court cases and reading stuff. I learned how to speed that up so I could keep up. So I have that speed built in myself, which is, yeah, I read pretty fast. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. I've been coloring. I've been reading like every bad novel you could think about. I read, I read the really the ones that you don't talk about, the virginal fantasy book club, if you remember that. What was her name? Oh, she's an actor in Hollywood. She did The Guild. You know who I mean. The nerd. Yeah, she had this book club on YouTube for a lot of years. Like those kind of books. I read those kind of books. Yeah, I know. But guilty pleasure. Come on, we all have a guilty pleasure. And I read a lot of Don Meg books because Seven Seas Publishing Company has released a lot of official translated Don Meg books. So yeah, I read those. So that's what I've been doing. That's what's going on in my life. Work is still crazy. I'm still trying to balance it. I'm not gonna promise, the world to you guys. I'm gonna do my best. And yeah, also, I think what happened was that, if you remember my reactions to Kim Pors and Cutie Pie, I got a lot of hate for that. A lot of hate. I talked a little bit about it during the time, but I kind of shut up after it because I just didn't want to drag it up again. I was so done. But, it's still a thing. I still get that from time to time. Someone new finding it and be like, and it kind of burned me out a little bit. It took the fun out of the YouTube channel as well. And I started to compare myself with other channels. Should I be more like them, trying to, I don't know, cover up that I don't like anything until the last episode and just so I get popular? I don't know. And I know I'm a girl, which means I'm gonna be less popular. Let's face it. Girls in this genre which is funny because everybody says it's all girls. It's only the female audience that are watching and la 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 la, But the big reactor channels are men. So, I mean, okay, After Hours is a very big reactor channel. And way to go, girl. But for most part, they are men because girls just can't get into this. We are not popular. And I am brutally honest a lot of times with what I like and don't like, which get me into trouble. And yeah, so it's, I guess I started to compare myself with other people, and I know I shouldn't. I am my own thing. I am doing my own thing. And that is, I have my niche in this genre. And it's more about finding the right people who like me and understand my niche and understand my thought process and feel like they get something out of listening to me talk rather than to be big and popular. Because let's face it, 99% of all the YouTube videos I put up, I can't monetize. I've been YouTube partner now for almost 6 months. I haven't got a single cent from YouTube because I don't earn enough every month. Because basically it's just these videos that I do sporadically that I can monetize. The rest I can't monetize because they are copyright claim. And so it's not about the money. It's not about being super big. I know that. But it is a bit disheartening sometimes when you see these channels just that started at the same time being almost double as big as me. And I'm like, what did I do wrong? Why don't you like me? Kinda. Yeah. And the main two things I can come up with is I'm too honest and I'm a girl. And I don't know if I want to change any of it. Well, I'm a girl, I can't really change that. We discussed this before that, I don't like gender. I don't like the semantics with what comes with gender. So when I say I'm a girl, yeah, but I hate what that makes you think of how I should be, what that entails. Yes, I have girly bits, but if that also means that I have to behave a certain way, I can only have a certain type of job, then I don't want to be a girl. Can I be something else? Can I be non-binary? If that is easier for you to think about me being, yeah. Now, I don't dress. I dress like a girl. I actually like, I like pants. I do. But I like dresses. Mostly because I'm super lazy, people. Because if you put on a dress and some pantyhose and some jewelry and you're done. It takes like 2 minutes. You're done. If you have to do, pants, you have to figure out what goes with these pants. How do I, and the top, and then I have to have do I have to have anything else with the top because it looks weird, and then not proportionate, and it's weird, and if I put on a dress, it's big, boom, bada, boom, done. That's basically why I wear dresses, because it's easy, and I don't know a thing about clothing. But if that makes me super feminine, yeah, okay. 90% of the time I wear a skirt or a dress, mostly dresses. But I don't wear it because I identify it with a girl, that it's something I feel pretty in it. It's because, yeah, it fits my body type and it's easy. I don't have to think. It's one thing I have to think about, not like 2 or 3 or 5. So yeah, but we talked about that before, that I say I'm a girl, and I am a girl. Like but if someone today would say, oh, we're gonna gender swap you to a boy, I wouldn't have an identity crisis over it. I would be, oh, cool. That's a new experience. Let's go. Type. That's how I feel about my gender. It doesn't define me, if you know. But it does because society makes it so, which I kind of hate. I don't know. But yeah, that's one of the reasons I figured out why I'm not more popular. Because, yeah, I look like a girl, at least. So people assume, which is all right. I don't feel the need to correct anybody. It's not that. It's weird. I know. I don't know what to call it. If someone has like a word for it, please. I think I read something about that a while ago. Like, there was actually a word for it, where you just didn't feel like you hated everything that had to do with gender and all the conventions that come with it. But I can't remember what it was. But there is apparently a word for it. It's not non-binary, it's something else. But yeah. Anyway. And I'm too honest. But I feel like my audience kind of wants me to be too honest. they want to know what I think, and you know. So yeah, that's, I guess, why I'm not that popular. I wouldn't say I'm not popular. Come on, we're almost 2,000 people here now. Well, 1,600 or almost 1,700 by now. So I wouldn't say I'm not popular. Like when I started this, I was like, if 100 people would watch me rant about stuff, that's awesome. I was convinced that I will be around 100 people, mostly bots, that and that would be it for like years and years and years. So I'm still kind of shocked that I grew as big as I did, as fast as I did. But at the same time, I feel like there are channels that are a month older than me that are almost the double in size. Do they produce more content than I do? No. But their gender is different, and some of them are not the same level of honesty. Or maybe they liked shows I didn't like because I have a different experience than they have, and stuff like that. And I'm not trying to make this out of gender politics or whatever. It's just the fact that, women have a harder time breaking into stuff like on the internet, in the workplace. We all know this. Now I got half a leg over everybody else because I'm super white, but so I'm super privileged. I know that. I'm like extremely privileged. But I'm not as privileged as a white male. And that's just a fact. I hate that it's a fact, but it's a fact. And it kind of got to me. It got to me. So, YouTube made it very, very clear that that was still very much a fact in the world. And I had a hard time dealing with that for a while. I got a little bit depressed over that fact because I didn't, yeah. I don't know. It's not that I don't know this. It's not that I don't see it in my everyday life as well, but I didn't see it as clearly as I saw on YouTube. I guess. And it got me angry, and it got me depressed. But then I thought that shouldn't be the reason I quit. Because if I quit, how are we going to change things? Like, we're not going to change things. And I feel like this space need a queer female with my background and with my life story and all that entails. So yeah, I'm not quitting. I'm slowing down. We're gonna try and find the balance. I don't know if this rant makes any sense because this wasn't scripted. This was I just felt like, an idea I had that it was time for a little chat. Anyway, other than that, I feel like we need to talk about one more thing. So I had a few shows that were left over during my break. We finished Why You Yao Me today. Well, I watched it like a few days ago, but the episode got up today. I got 2 episodes left of Moonlight Chicken, which I'm gonna finish. But then we have Change of Hearts. And I don't know what to do with it, because I kind of like it and I kind of hate it. The production value is not there. I'm still intrigued with the story, though. But the translation make me bonkers. And yeah. From the looks of it, no one is watching those reactions. Like, no one. And I have to do one for Patreon and one for YouTube. And it's a lot of work for, like, 10 people to watch. So I know I said I wouldn't drop a series, but I'm actually thinking of dropping it or just putting it up on Patreon. But I wanted a bit of feedback before I decided. So if you could leave a comment about what you want to do, I might put up a poll on the community post as well. Should I finish it on my own time? Should I make a summary, what I thought of it when I finished it? Should I just put it on Patreon so my workload is a little bit better and I could focus on something else here on YouTube? Or do you want me to actually finish it here on YouTube as well? So yeah, please leave a comment and I will see what I feel like doing. But you know, I almost always listen to your opinions as well. So, but that kind of all that I had, like thoughts, random thoughts in Anoriell's head with a bit of coffee that, of course, I forgot to drink during this. So now it's cold. Yay! And yeah, where I've been, what are we gonna do with the leftover series, and other just random thoughts, because that's what you get. Hope you found it interesting, and I will talk to you next time. Bye!